If you're a 400 runner, more than likely you will not be good at the indoor 400. The indoor 400 is meant for people who are able to sprint fast. If you can't sprint fast, which most 400 runners can't, like they be running 47 in the 400 and a 200 PR be 22-1, 22 flat, 22-3. The indoor 400 isn't meant for you because you're going to have to PR the first 200 every single race just for you to even get the break first. And I don't know, like you got to be fast. And a lot of people just aren't fast. Like if you a good 200 runner, the indoor 200 is meant, the indoor 400 is meant for you because you get to get out, really not even at 200 pace, at 60 pace and sprint to the break. And once you hit the break, you just chill and you still gonna come through like 21 mid, and then you're gonna be in front of everybody else and making them work super hard. But this is the way that I run the indoor 200, and I'm gonna just share it with you. Maybe you run it different, but just let me know down below in the comments. So firstly, when they say on your marks, I make sure that I get down in my blocks. There's like a 200 line, there's a 400 line. The 400 line is like the closest one to the blocks. I don't know, but there's like two different lines. My block setting is the same because I gotta get out like I'm running the 200. So I get in the blocks, you say set. I like push back on the blocks. I like load into the blocks and then I push back on the blocks. They set. Then boom, they shoot the gun. Then my first instinct is to get out like I'm running the open two, like you have to. Because you trying to get to that break first, or if you don't get to the break first, like you got to get to the break right there in the range of everybody else. And more than likely, just try to get there first. But if you aren't fast sprint-wise, majority of the time, you won't get to the break first. And that like just diminishes your chances of winning the race because you have to go on the outside and pass. And it's just a lot of extra work that you have to do. And you'll be running further than 400 meters. But you get to the break first, you cut in, and then you just chill. Like when I say chill, you just like stop accelerating and just let your legs do the work, and you still gonna come through at a respectable pace if you're a good sprinter. If you aren't a good sprinter, then more than likely you finna 22 it and then come through, and then you about to come through the 200 at like 22.5, and you're gonna be in about 4th place, and then it's gonna be tough from there. And then going around the first, second, the third curve, you just chilling still. Down the backstretch, you chilling. Some people like to make a move down the backstretch. I'm not one of those people because I know if there's any deficit that I gotta make up, I'll make it up once I come off the last curve. But once you hit the 300 meter mark, which is in a corner, when you go into that 4th curve, a lot of people like make the move there. And like sometimes I make a move there, but more than likely I don't. Because I know sprint speed wise, the majority of the people who's running the indoor 400 don't have like the foot speed to run with me. So even if they are in front of me or right there next to me, when I do kick, tight, it won't even be close. So I just chill and I wait till like I get in the middle of the curve and I just like start sprinting. Then I come home, and that's how I run the indoor 4. And I feel like that's the most efficient way to run it. Because if you kicking too early, that means you're slow, and then more than likely you just, I don't know, it's just not meant for you. So I'll say my biggest tip when it comes to running the indoor 400, you need to be fast. Like you need to be running like sprint. Like you need to be able to sprint. Because if you're like a 400, 800 runner or just a 400 runner, like you that person to be doing 500s and 600s at practice, more than likely you're too slow for the indoor 400. And you really won't run that fast. And if you get like in a good race, you won't be competitive. So you got to get faster because it's meant for sprinters, because you have to run everybody else's race. You can't run your race, especially if you run it from the back. And when you cut in for the break, that's when running somebody else's race begins, especially if you aren't in the front. So if you want to be able to run your own race in the indoor 400, you have to get fast to do it, because you got to hit that break first, and then you just got to be able to go. Or you got to be disciplined enough to run your own race and still be competitive, which most people aren't. So I'll say the biggest tip is stop training for the 400, train for the 200. And if you're like a 400, 800 guy, just run an 800 indoor, run a 600 indoor, something you can like really be competitive in, because that indoor 4 won't help you. Like it just won't help in my opinion.